introduce two of the strongest people I know in the world, John and Ellen Kunkle.
Thank you to Bill Kearney, and I have to start with a thanks to Kim and Dan here for all the effort that goes into this, and for everybody here. It really is, it's a privilege to be able to share this story with you and be part of this community. So here we go. 4 years ago, right around this weekend, we should have been sending our youngest child off to college. As you already know, that happy event never occurred. On September 18th, 2014, we lost our son to the ravages of a recurrent cancerous brain tumor. I struggled a lot with what to share with you tonight, but luckily, I guess, Jack was a prolific writer whose honesty and depth I can't match, but I willingly share with you tonight. This is part of a speech that he wrote and delivered on a retreat in the spring of 2014. He said, "It was the fall of 2007 when I started feeling bad, dizzy, nauseated, and overall horrible. But I went on with my life, going to school, doing my chores, swimming, and acting in a local play, while we tried to figure out what was wrong. On January 18th, 2008, I woke up feeling the worst pain I had felt in my life. After a call with my pediatrician, we drove down to the University of Chicago Hospital emergency room. I had a CT scan and an MRI that day. My dad's recollection is that after the MRI, he came into my hospital room and told me what was going on. I like my dad's narration, but mine is a little different. What I recall, after my CT scan, I was sitting in my room when a nurse came in, blank and indifferent, and told me I had a brain tumor. That was a Friday. I went into surgery on Monday, and over the next year and 3 months, I would go through radiation and chemotherapy treatment. My life had completely changed in one moment. I was 11 years old. Jack felt the full brunt of 15 months of treatment. He was weak, off balance, and bald, and navigating junior high. You've seen and heard about the horrible effects of brain tumors, as well as the horrible effects of treatment. Jack knew it well, but he got better and better. By the time he started high school, he was in a modified gym class. He continued weekly physical therapy to help with his strength and balance, and he realized that his height was topping out at, for him, an unimpressive 5'5". But otherwise, he felt pretty good. He felt like a regular guy. In a weird way, Jack's horrible experience had made him a better person. He was more compassionate, and in retrospect, he was wise beyond his years. It also made us a closer family. All 5 of us seemed to find the humor in everyday things, and we kept other problems in perspective. Jack's 4 years of high school at Lyons Township were filled with the social and academic challenges that nearly everyone faces, plus a whole extra layer of physical and emotional struggles that follow a young person who has had cancer. But he seemed to find a balance in addressing those things and just living his life. He was in plays, the improv show, choir. Although Jack was small in stature, he liked to go big, not always with the desired results. He wrote again in the same speech, "The beginning of junior year, I was on top of the world. There was a girl that I really liked, and I felt that she may have liked me as well. So, like any teenage boy would, I asked her to the homecoming dance in a really huge way." Over the airwaves at WXRT. That afternoon, my improv director gave me a giant bear hug, and another teacher complimented me on my amazing idea. I waited for her answer for 3 days. And on the 3rd day, she called me and said, "No." I emailed Lynn Bramer, the DJ who helped me put the whole thing together. His reply, "Jack, compared to teenage girls, Cancer is nothing. By Jack's senior year, he was closing in on being a 5-year survivor. My husband John put it very well in a note that he sent to Jack during a church retreat. Jack, you have shown that you can handle whatever comes your way with quiet dignity and grace. You are a serious young man who is thoughtful, compassionate, funny, and someone who still enjoys the spotlight. I have always marveled at your eagerness to perform on stage, even when there wasn't a stage to be seen. Jack's ultimate stage event was the Mr. LT competition in the spring of 2014. It was the first year for Mr. LT, which is, if you don't know yet, a beauty pageant of sorts. 20 or so junior and senior men. There is a bathing suit competition, Q&A, and talent, all to raise money for charity. Jack loved the competition. He loved that people laughed at his stand-up routine. And to be honest, he loved that he won. And then it all stopped. We went to U of C for the now routine but always stress-inducing periodic MRI. A day later, we heard probably the only words worse than "your child has cancer." It's back. Another tumor had sprung up in the same place, at the base of Jack's skull. His prognosis was not good, and the only potential path to recovery was another surgery, more chemo, and a stem cell transplant. With treatment came a slew of complications, infections, and an unbelievable cycle of ups and downs. He spent most of the month of May in the hospital, but he walked to graduation, the 1st of June. The summer was filled with painful hospital stays, stress-filled days, but in between, he was out with his friends most every night. While others prepared to move into college dorms, Jack's stem cell process began, but it was quickly thwarted by a tumor that had kept growing in spite of the large doses of chemotherapy that he had received. We knew then that the stem cells that had been harvested would not be going back into Jack's body, and we were going to have to say goodbye. He asked me if he'd be here for Christmas, and I didn't have an answer. So we left the hospital, and in true Jack fashion, he spent the next 10 days at home, talking, laughing, writing, and then he was gone. One of the things that Jack didn't like was being called brave or courageous. Just like that. But as I heard the stories and saw the faces of the kids tonight, of Wyatt and Sophie, Graham, Violet, and Charlotte, those are the words that spring to my mind. I don't really know them well, but I know that spark of determination, the sheer will to overcome these illnesses and to live full and happy lives. And isn't that why we're here right now? I'm not sure if you can see this picture really clearly, but it's a simple tattoo. There are 3 copies of it in the world. On the wrists of our 2 daughters, Lee and Em, and on Jack's closest longtime friend, Kelly Carney. It's the word imagine, written in John Lennon's handwriting, and with a blue baseball cap, Jack's signature look. The message these women carry on their wrists with them always is one of loss, a piece of their young hearts that will always be scarred. But it's also a message of hope. Imagine, that's what we're asked to do tonight. Imagine better treatments for our friends and neighbors. Imagine a cure for 4,600 children that are diagnosed with a brain tumor each year. Imagine those young lives with all the requisite heartbreak and laughs. Imagine them without the shadow of illness and without the fear of a life cut short. Thank you.